Welcome to Option Trades Today. I'm Tony the Bat Batista, and I've got a trade idea for you today in an indice that you all know, and I wanted to mention to you, SPY. That's S as in Sam, P as in Paul, Y as in yellow. SPY has a dividend today. It's a large dividend. The last dividend was around $1.78. So that means any option that you have, call option, that you have that's in the money, you should take a look at it and see if it's at risk of either getting exercised for a dividend if you're short it, or whether you should exercise it and capture that dividend. Let's take a look at what's going on in the overall market today. As you can see on the left-hand side here, even the S&Ps are up 45 handles. That's a good 1% after being down on the opening today. And look at what's going on with volatility. Volatility down $1.56 to 24.31, a 6% move. Now that might seem like a large move, but let's take a look at what volatility has done over the last week or so. I'm going to click on /VX. That is the CBOE volatility index that I like to look at. And now look, we're up at 24.30, still relatively high. Market really hasn't gone anywhere. We're 39.71. We've been hanging out in a very wide, narrow, well, if it's wide, it can't be narrow, but a very wide, narrow range in the E-mini S&Ps and the overall market. So I want to take a look at one of these trades. I want to take a look at SPY. I'm going to click on that little arrow right here that opens up a little window on the side here that has some of your past products that you've looked at. I just looked at SPY. I just looked at /VX. They are both there. I'm going to click on SPY. It's going to bring me right to the charts. And you can see that obviously the IV rank in SPY is following exactly what's going on with /VX. Why would it do that? Well, SPY has a 1.00 correlation. That's as big as you can get because it is the market. /VX is priced off of SPX options, which is 10 times the size of SPY. They're all brothers and sisters to each other. So as volatility goes higher, volatility is going to go higher in SPY. As volatility goes lower, volatility is going to go lower in SPY. I'm talking about /VX. Let's take one more quick look at our watch list and what's been going on with SPY. Even with volatility over the last 5 days, and you know what's been going on with volatility the last 5 days, it's gone nothing but higher. Even today, the IVX 5-day change for SPY is still up 1%, signaling that there's still volatility in the market and also that those options are still fat relative to where they've been over the last 5 days. Now look, IV rank is 32. You remember we were looking at these when IV rank was down around single digits, 6, 7, 8, sometimes in the teens, but never over 30 the way it is now. Now it has been higher. It wasn't the optimal time. Optimal time would have been a couple of days ago when IV rank was around 60, but I think we're done with all of that. So what am I going to look to do? I'm going to use a strategy that uses the most amount of buying power that you can use. I have it here on the bottom. I'm looking at a Strangle. Before I open up the April options for you, I'm going to show you I'm short the 376 put and the 410 calls. Before you look at it on a chart or a graph or the option change or the curve view, understand what you're doing. I got filled right here at $7.71. This trade has just about a 60-40 probability of success. Now remember, I'm looking to take a little bit less, a lower probability of profit than I normally like. I like to get around 68%, but I'm going to collect a lot more premium because I'm moving those strikes in, anticipating volatility to contract a little bit. This has about 2 long deltas. It creates a large $21 in theta decay. Obviously, the SPY beta weighted delta, since this is SPY, is going to be exactly the same as the delta of this position. And my max loss is infinite. What does infinite mean? Well, if you're supposed to have around a $20 expected move, they're expecting an infinite move to measure your max loss. So for me, it's a little bit misleading, but it is what it is because that's factual. Your max profit is whatever you sell it for. I did it for $771, and you're using about $5,800 in buying power for this trade. Let's take a look at it on the option chains. I'm opening up April, and you'll see here I'm going to sell the 376 put. That has around 26 delta, and then I'm going to go up to the 410 call. That has around a 24, 25 delta, depending on how SPY moves. The interesting thing about this is, a moment ago, SPY was about 17 handles higher than my short call, and 17 handles higher lower than my short put, signaling no put skew, which is highly unusual in SPY. But I told you from the beginning of this podcast that SPY has about a $2, $1.80 or something like that dividend today. Now you can take a look at that, or take a look at why there might be a dividend, or what the dividend price might be, by looking at the calls versus the puts on a combo on a product like this right at the money. Right at the money, the calls and the puts should trade at the same price. Look at this. The puts are trading $3.12, and the calls are trading $1.78. Any, especially short-dated option, where the stock is right at the money to a strike, the call and the put should be exactly the same price, within pennies of each other. That's a little trade hack you just got to know that there's something going on in whatever stock you're trading. This happens to be SPY, and that something going on is a dividend, and that dividend's going to look to be about the difference between $3.13 and $1.80 or so, maybe a little bit more. But anyway, it allows you to know what's going on in SPY, and that dividend is imminent. All right, everybody, if you like what you saw here and you love my podcast, please subscribe to the Tasty Live podcast here. And you know what? Open up your account at Tasty Trade. That's the platform I'm using here. Get all the features that I have, because everybody gets all the same things. And I'd love to see you at Tasty Trade. And that's how we keep the lights on.